What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 67 of Littleroot Lessons. As always, I'm your host, Carter Noble, joined by our fantastic co-host, Carl Wilkin. What's up, dude?
So much data. That's what's up.
Oh, I feel like this is a weekly occurrence at this point.
Not really. This one's got two events because we...
See, that's how it just lines up because of the way our events are actually structured, where one week we won't have anything, and then next week we'll have two events because we'll have one on that Wednesday before, and we, of course, record on Thursdays. So I was like, hey, here, have data.
Well, this data is even better because Players' Cup 4 is coming up. The lock-in for teams is the 18th.
Next Friday, right?
It's 18th, yeah. We're going to be doing an open team sheet event on the 17th. I think was what we decided on. Time to be determined still, but I think we're doing it on the Thursday.
Yeah, so for those who are actually qualified and need the open team sheet like practice, please let us know like what times work because we haven't locked one in yet. But
we'll probably have a poll on the Discord server.
Yeah, so if you're not in the Discord, generic Discord plug, go join it. It's great.
Discord links down below.
Yep.
Or you can do discord.gg/LR lessons in your URL browser and it'll take you there.
Yep. I know I typed it up one time. I think it was for the Architects post that we made before the circuit got started. And I put discord.com/ and just like, one of my buddies texted me. He's like, hey, this doesn't work. I'm like, it's because I'm an idiot.
It's because I'm dumb. Yeah.
Like, we'll leave it at that and move on.
Yeah. But we'll have an open team sheet event for people who are qualified and need practice to play in before you have to lock your teams in at least.
Yep.
So, kind of the idea.
So
what
data.
Else? Yeah. Tons of data, actually. We had 21 teams for the qualifier, which was our biggest qualifier yet.
No, we had one with 23?
That was our Rumble.
22 then.
That was our biggest qualifier was 21.
Oh, okay, cool.
The Rumble was the current biggest event at 23.
Okay, cool. And
that was Rumble. That was the weekend
3?
Rumble. That was Rumble 3.
Yeah, okay.
That had the 12 Landers and the 6 Field.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
Instead of all these Landers and whatnot,
instead of Spiels, this week we got
a bunch of other stuff. So this is
the
Rumble. So this is the LRQ.
Cool. So top of the list. How surprised are you to hear that Rillaboom, P2, and Ensign are the most popular bonds?
Not very surprised at all.
Not very at all.
Which it's like, of all the Pokemon that ends up being like, this is kind of just a nonsense number, it doesn't really mean anything, but 33% usage is kind of cool. Just like a third of all the Pokemon used was a Rillaboom. And it was just like, it's just nice to think of it that way. It's just like Rillaboom hadn't seen a whole lot of popularity in Series 8, kind of fell off and then has kind of come back in Series 9.
I know Tim had the data for like pairings and stuff on different mons, like Rillaboom plus whatever. I'm actually interested to see how many of those three are actually together. I think he sent that over, didn't he?
He did. I can just pull it up real quick. It's going to take me a second.
That'll be there.
But, seven repeats isn't a lot looking at, like, the Rumble that had 12 Landresses.
That's very accurate, yeah. So we have 7 Rillaboom, P2, and Incineroar. Then we have 6 Dragapults, 5 Grimmsnarl, and a bunch of 4s here. So we have 4 Feeny, Rotom Wash, Rotom Heat, 4 Glastrier, and 4 Garchomp to round it out. So,
I'm trying to look for Rillaboom pairings here. I see Dragapult Rillaboom had 3.
Interesting.
That means Coal, probably? Like some variant of Colossal.
Well, it's interesting because looking at the 3s...
There's 2 Colossal Rillaboom pairings.
And 2 Colossal Dragapult.
So that means there's 2 Colossal teams, and so 3 of the Dragapult Rillaboom means that there's 1 that's not attached to a Colossal.
Yeah, makes sense.
Trying to see if there's just like another...
It should be under Rillaboom, shouldn't it? Did they not do pairings that way? Yeah, there we go.
It did. It's just like trying to find it. So there's 2 Rillaboom Colossal, 2 Rillaboom Garchomp, 2 Rillaboom Grimmsnarl. Oh, so I think the other one was playing the beat-up game. Was that the beat up? Was that the beat up team?
That I couldn't tell you.
I don't.
What makes you think that?
Because that's the only thing I think Dragapult doing.
I mean, well, like
other than being a super offensive Dragapult, which isn't common in our events because it's usually being a support for other things.
I ran into something the other day. I think it was on Showdown or on Ladder.
Actually, there were 6 Dragapults, right?
Uh-huh.
So 2 of them were paired with Colossal. 1 of them was paired with Arcanine.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
So there's 3 of them. That means the other 2 Dragapults are... There's 3 with a Togekiss. Okay.
I mean, a non-zero of those, I'm sure, also paired with... I mean, actually being paired with Togekiss means they could actually be the offensive variants and going for, like, Dragon Dance.
Mm-hmm.
So, we went through the 4s. The one that I really want to talk about in, like 4 usage, so this is 4 out of 21 teams, so just under 20%. For Garchomp.
Yeah, so I covered it on Friday in the deep dive. Garchomp is kind of seen like this spot as like a pseudo Landorus kind of situation.
Okay.
The argument there is just like it is a physical ground type, it is fast and it hits really hard. And the idea is like Garchomp also gets access to Breaking Swipe, so it can do the Intimidate kind of thing if you want it to.
Uh-huh. Are there any physically offensive fairies that you actually care about Intimidate versus Breaking Swipe? Off the top of my head, the only one that comes to mind is exactly Coco, but Coco most of the time isn't physical.
You also just get, like, Coco's like when you're not too terribly worried about
it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you literally just Earthquake it and it cries.
Yeah.
Especially if it is an offensive variant where it's like Life Orb or whatever, and you're like, alright, cool, you're not Shuka, you died of this Earthquake.
Like, the original pairing was, like, Landorus Feeny. That was the idea. It was just like, oh, Landorus Feeny is really good. Well, Feeny Garchomp's even better because Garchomp gets to benefit from
you don't get burnt that way.
He gets to benefit from that misty terrain. So that's kind of the idea is, like, which one's better? Like, it's really team dependent. It's like, if you really need that Intimidate, Landorus is going to be your go-to.
Well,
most of the time.
I also got to play Garchomp this last week on Laddering. And, man, like, when you get to, like, one Swords Dance...
yeah.
You read your opponent making a switch out into their Intimidator, you're like, alright, well, you're not actually pressuring my Garchomp this turn. Sure, you're going to intimidate me, but I'm going to go to +1.
Yeah, and that's all Garchomp really needs. Garchomp just needs that one window of, I clicked Swords Dance and I wasn't completely and utterly punished for it. The game's pretty much over. There
was a match where my opponent cycled into Ensign, protected the other Mon, so I got my free Swords Dance. And I'm just like, I'm pretty sure they just fake out my next Mon and, like, double into it. I'm going to be super greedy and go for a second Swords Dance. And, like, I read it correctly, and then Dynamax and, Garchomp swept. Picked up 4 KOs in 3 turns or whatever.
Just blew them up.
It's like, alright, cool. You actually, like, I read exactly 2 plays correctly, and it won me this game.
Yeah. Another one I want to talk about is Rotom Wash.
Yeah!
Rotom Wash has kind of just been out of the meta since, like, Rillaboom's been popular. And with 7 Rillaboom, seeing 4 Rotom Wash is kind of weird.
Like, someone didn't anticipate this, I have a feeling.
It's like people overreading and kind of things like that. It's just like you read too much into the meta. It's like, oh, because Rillaboom hasn't been popular in these events, we can play Rotom Wash. Well, the people who hadn't been playing Rillaboom just hadn't been playing these events. Here's Rillaboom again.
I'm actually curious.
Get clapped.
Of like how much the data analysis that we do influences people's team choices for the upcoming events.
I know, right? It's interesting.
I have no influence. I have no idea about anything, right? I just sit here and read numbers.
Yeah.
But it does make me think. I'm just like, you know what we haven't seen? Chansey.
Yeah. Well, people please don't for a minute. So
please don't be that monster.
So going from the 4s into the 3s here, 3 of each Urshifu, both Rapid Strike and Single Strike. All 3 Togekiss that I mentioned earlier were paired with Dragapult. So all the Togekiss had a Dragapult pairing.
Interesting.
3 Spectrier, 3 Metagross, Landorus, Therian is out of 3, Kartana, and Amoonguss. Amoonguss still holding us strong as a 3rd string grass type.
I have a story to talk about later when we get to Amoonguss.
we'll mention Amoonguss again. Don't worry about that.
I am very excited. But, with I believe when it actually comes to grass types, we have Rillaboom and then Kartana and Amoonguss. So Amoonguss and Kartana both at 3. And then you have Venusaur down here at 2. So, maybe it's just me, but it used to be that just, the only grass types I ever really saw were, Ferrothorns in older formats. Just man, this is an actual, thing you need to not... it's not constantly on your mind of, okay, I need to have a Ferrothorn answer. But, it is just consciously there of just, well, how do you break through this?
Yeah, how do you beat this?
And, obviously Kartana was also a thing, but back then, personally, and even still to this day, I much prefer Focus Sash Kartana. I just feel like the boost you get from Assault Vest is not worth it. Granted, you make up for it by also doubling your HP pool when you Dynamax it, which in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, you couldn't do that.
That wasn't a thing, yeah.
But something you could do was the Grass Z move, whatever it was called. Doom Bloom.
Or Bloom
Doom. Yes.
it was very rhymed. It was Bloom Doom or Doom Bloom or something that.
One of those, and just all right, well, that's a free KO.
Yeah.
There's water is a very good typing because you have Feenies running around. There was Mega Swamperts, Politoed if you were doing rain things. I mean, this is obviously not the Ultra series or whatever because I didn't play in 19. So I mean, I it's weird to see, obviously Amoonguss has always been good too, right? You have the Chalk Core with it, but it's weird to see, a super offensive grass type be popular.
Yeah.
With Rillaboom. Because, I mean, granted, that speaks a lot of grassy terrain and grassy glide together on one mod.
Yeah.
I think if you got one or the other...
there's a reason Tapu Bulu doesn't have grassy glide.
There's a reason you don't see Tapu Bulu. It's not because grassy terrain's good. It's because grassy terrain plus grassy glide is really good.
Here's 70 base power grassy glide that gets priority on terrain.
Plus the terrain boost.
Plus the terrain boost.
Plus stab. Boost, plus your Miracle Seed and or Choice Band.
It ends up being
here's a 600 base power grass priority move.
Yeah,
that can one-shot Lapras if you really don't invest into it properly.
Lapras has to invest properly, otherwise it just gets blown up. So.
Alright, cool, you did? Well, here's a Wood Hammer.
Yeah, I'm going to Wood Hammer you instead, and then you're actually gone, I lost my Rillaboom.
Cool, you KO'd me, but I also KO'd your Dynamax, so...
I feel like it's a fair trade. Looking at these twos here, like you mentioned, Venusaur, Torkoal, so there's 2 Sun teams running around. That's something that's not been very popular lately, is Sun.
You say that, but
there's a ton of it on ladder. It's just not showing. That same data is not showing up in our play.
True. Which it's weird because if you look at the team of the week submissions that we have, there's a ton of horses and there's a ton of Metagross and it's weird because Metagross isn't really represented in this data.
Yeah.
So it there's something not overlapping there that I don't understand, but. I don't know.
Yeah. Other 2 ofs here. We have 2 Zapdos, 2 Sylveon, 2 Raichu. Moltres Galarian shows up at 2. Mimikyu. That's one I haven't seen in a while, too.
That's...
Oh, here's another oldie but a goodie, Milotic.
Dude, I ran into Milotic. I think it was during the Rumble. Yeah, it was... I'm pretty sure it was during the Rumble. Go on.
2 Lapras, 2 Heatran, 2 Gothitelle, 2 Entei, 2 Colossal, and 2 Celesteela. Celesteela fell hard.
Celesteela and Gothitelle is up. I feel like I mean I could be wrong, but I feel like 2 is up from where it was.
Do we say Regieleki anywhere yet? Is Regieleki?
Oh Lord, have we?
Have we said Regieleki's name yet? Oh wow!
Holy cow!
Okay.
Yeah, there is a single Regieleki. Regieleki was as popular as Sableye, Carl. Something is not making sense here.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's a Tyranitar. Tyranitar's been on the rise. Probably expect a deep dive on Tyranitar here soon. Tornadus, Thunderous, Terrakion. There's a single Tapu Bulu. Stakataka, Sableye, Regieleki, Primarina, Politoed, Pheromosa, Alolan Marowak, Lucario.
Dude, I feel like this is just like, we have Terrakion, Lucario, Dragapult, Togekiss. Alright, so where's our other beat-up mons? Do we have Charizard on here? There's a Charizard beat-up. Do we have Whimsicott? Show me Whimsicott. No, there's an Arcanine, though. There's our 6.
Yeah, there's our Arcanine.
There's our 6. Locking it in. We're a hardcore beat-up. We can never beat a Togekiss.
Yeah. Pheromosa, Kingdra. So there was at least one rain team running around. Which, if I had to guess, that would be Rectim. He's played Wandnar's rain team every event he's played in so far, and he's done decently well with it every time, too.
Did Jiggly play in this event? I'm pretty sure he did, right?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Is that where this Jigglypuff comes from? Can you look that up for me?
I sure can.
Didn't you already have that pulled up?
I did, but I closed it to save
come
tabs.
on, Carl.
I had a million tabs open.
That's
I didn't
fair.
want to click the wrong one.
Your computer was catching fire from burning so much RAM.
Right?
Please. I just want to know where this Jigglypuff is. And I'm assuming it's from the man, the myth, the legend himself.
He did play. And it is him.
Alright, cool, I found it. As soon as I saw it on the data,
he had the Mimikyu. He had one of the Mimikyus too. I kind of want to see if I can find this random Dragapult.
I want to see the beat-up teams. I want to see the Lucario, Arcanine, Charizard beat-up team.
Right?
Well, I'm assuming Charizard was paired with one of the Torkoal Venusaurs. And you're just like really leaning into Sun.
I know there was a real hard Sun team in the Rumble.
Yep, I played against it.
I'm not sure if there's a real hard Sun team in the
I have a story about that match when we get to it.
Well, there's one of the Dragapults.
There's one of the Torkoal Venusaurs, too.
So, yeah, this one had all of that.
That's Sun plus beat-up.
Yeah.
That's sick. They didn't have Charizard for extra beat-up, though, so, is it really a Sun beat-up team?
Nope. I will find what I was looking for again.
Dragapult.
That's right. There's
Pheromosa Horse.
Yeah, there's the one Pheromosa. This is the beat up team, I think. Yeah.
Arcanine.
This is the beat up team. One of the many beat up teams.
There's got to be more, right? Because there's a Lucario. What else does Lucario do in this format? Does it get Steadfast? Is that right?
I don't know.
I know it gets Justified, and
there's no Dragapult without any of the other things. So
no, there's a Rillaboom.
Oh, there's a Rillaboom.
Yep.
So this is the one off one. That's not a Colossal team.
Correct.
We found it. Cool.
Hooray!
Hooray!
It looks like a Colossal team because we also had Urshifu Water.
But it's
no coal.
Here's the Charizard team.
Yeah. Aw, they're not beating things up.
No, they have Glash. This is so the best way I can describe this is Sunroom. Like hard Sunroom.
Yep. Very much so.
This is Jay the homie. Padillac has always got the cool teams. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, okay, so round 1 of the Rumble I played him as well.
Yeah.
And this is the team that they played as well there. So it's a really, really interesting team because they led Milo plus Urshifu, and they outsped my Excelgor with Urshifu. And as soon as they did, I just went, "That's Scarf! I don't like this!" Just like, I don't like where this is going anymore.
So, this is a really cool...
I talked to him a little bit afterwards. I'm just like, what is going on here? Please stop.
Please stop. There's a T-Tar. There's a Durant, too. Okay. I see you. I'm trying to find it, and I can't find it.
I want to see the Lucario.
That's what I'm trying to find. It's not that one. It's not that one. Is it you?
Why didn't we just start from the top and work our way down?
I have been.
No, you've been jumping all over. Don't lie to the listeners.
No, like, I actually...
Did Evan play it? What did Evan play?
It might have been Evan.
Evan, we need to talk.
If it's Evan, we know where it came from. No,
Dang
it wasn't Evan. He's one of the Heatran, though. That's cool.
He was also playing Garchomp.
It's not Row.
Was it...
I think it's Karibo. Yeah. It had, like, that's the only thing I think it was, like, it has to be Karibo.
So, Inner Focus, Sash... I'm surprised E-Speed over, like, Bullet Punch? I mean, I guess it actually comes out to about the same damage plus higher priority because it would be 40 plus stab versus 70.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, E-Speed makes sense then, I guess. The question is, like, do you need the extra Steel typing when you also have Meteor Mash?
Yeah.
I'm glad that he didn't do...
This also super bluffs, like, a weakness policy.
Yeah, for sure. Like, bluffing policy on Togekiss makes a ton of
Togekiss.
sense.
I like seeing
Kasib, Berry, Dragapult.
Yeah. So
Kasib is Ghost?
So we can blow up opposing Spectres.
Interesting.
Because I don't know if we outspeed Max Speed Spectrier.
Let me see what... Is that 172 plus? Or
172 plus.
Okay.
Sure. While you do that, I'm going to get the top two teams from the Rumble, from the LRQ pulled up so we can talk about them.
Yeah, talk about it, man, while I do some math.
So, we had... This one is our second place team. This was in the hands of Asada, or Small Spaces on Discord. This team's pretty cool. It's the standard Garchomp plus some stuff here. So we have a Spectrier, that's a support Spectrier with Shadow Ball, a Heatran, standard Heatran set, Rotom Wash, standard Rotom Wash set with Nasty Plot Protect, Assault Vest Rillaboom, Light Clay Grimmsnarl, these are all pretty standard stuff, and then White Herb Garchomp to kind of round it out. The White Herb Garchomp running Dragon Claw is kind of just like catches people off guard because Garchomp probably doesn't run a Dragon type move, and it's also no Protect, so it's just like reliant on the screen's bulk to actually just stay alive. But yeah.
Dragapult at 172 plus gets to 202, so you still outspeed.
You still outspeed then.
Spectres, because they get to even 200.
Yeah, because they're
so you're spec to outspeed the things that are spec to outspeed Spectrier.
Yes.
So you outspeed the Dragapults that outspeed Spectrier, but not other Dragapults.
Not the max speed.
You still lose to opposing Dragapults who are max speed, but because you're a Kasib Berry, you don't.
You don't die. That's actually good. That's actually good tech.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
But yeah, that's kind of just the rundown of Asada's team here. It's just a standard Garchomp, Heatran, support Spectrier, Grimmsnarl support kind of thing. Feels fairly standard, very balanced, kind of just like this overall, deals with a lot of the format kind of team.
Yep, very much so.
And then this one's where things get a little weird. This is Hakim's team. He is our third qualifier winner. So we've got two.
So we have Hakim and Evan now.
Yep. And Mocha.
Man, dude, that's
like, stacked.
Really stacked already.
That was super stacked. So Hakim's team had a Rotom Wash, an Alolan Marowak, a Porygon 2, a Galarian Moltres, a Sylveon, and a Kartana. We don't know as much about this one because they didn't give us moves and whatnot, but it's fine.
Alright, so quick analysis of this team. This is Safety Goggles Rotom. No, probably not. It's probably Citrus.
It's probably Citrus.
Just because it is Wash. We have, obviously, Thick Club.
Yep.
Big Bone, whatever.
Thick Club.
Okay. Obviously, Eviolite.
Yep.
Then we have Weakness Policy Moltres.
Yep.
Which also could bluff Safety Goggles. Like, you could be Safety Goggles bluffing the Weakness Policy because you do have Sylveon. Probably Sash, Sylveon, Sash or Babiri are my two guesses on item. And then probably AV Kartana, and if so, I'm very upset.
So, the AV Kartana here makes more sense than the Sash, just because there's like things that, like you said, Sylveon probably wants the Sash.
I think just because of like how much Metagross there is still in the format, like specifically weakness policy Metagross. I think that Babiri, if I remember my calcs correct, just doesn't do enough.
It's very similar to the Togekiss problem. Togekiss with Babiri doesn't survive, so they've swapped to a Con as their berry.
And just be like, sure, I'll take the Steel Spike and die.
And if they see the Steel Spike, they're just like, well, I just lose my Togekiss here. They just concede to that matchup.
Yeah. Or like Comfey and just like, yeah, Babiri doesn't do anything here. I'm just gonna be Sash. Make them double into me to pick up the KO.
Exactly.
Which is like one of the downsides of that is just like, all right, well, sure, I can Steel Spike you, or in the case of like Comfey, you have not enough natural bulk anyway, so it's just like, all right, well, here's a Rock Slide, or here's a Max Hailstorm. It's like, now you go down to Chip from Weather as well.
Yeah. So yeah, this team feels kind of just awkward enough for people to play against that you don't know what's coming 100% of the time. Like, there's this solid Trick Room core with like Kartana in the back. There's also like this solid like Moltres plan with like a Lola Whack in the back or Rotom Wash.
I actually think like the more I look at like the data that we have from exactly this tournament, there's not a ton of redirection. Like we saw 3 Togekiss, 3 Amoonguss.
Yep. We didn't see any
no Indeedee. So like that's really it when it comes to redirection. Clefairy? Was there 1 Clefairy, 2 Clefairy?
There was one Clefairy.
So we have 7 Mons with redirection.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, weakness policy seems really good, especially when you're self-triggering it like this. The other thing is just, like, setup moves are probably a little weaker just because, like, you don't have a ton of redirection to pair with them.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I don't know, maybe this is just, like, a quick analysis of this, but I think I really like weakness policy in our current formats. So, like, I think people just aren't bringing enough of it, like, enough redirection to punish people.
Yeah, to warrant just stopping it hard. Which is why we see the beat up every once in a while and things like that, too. So yeah, that was the LRQ. Moving on to our Rumble. Rumble was about half the size of the LRQ, so the data is just to be a little bit more skewed than normal.
Yeah, we had
12
players?
Yeah, 12.
So I ended up playing. It was fun.
We'll talk about your team here in a second.
Yeah, for sure. So we have, I'm assuming this is 5 Dark Urshifu?
Yes.
Because Rapid Strike is labeled as Rapid Strike, right?
Correct.
Cool. So we have 5 Dark Urshifu, 5 Glastrier, 4 Landorus, 3 Torkoal, 3 Reggie Eliki, 2 Venusaur, Rapid Strike Urshifu, 2 Landorus Thundurus, 2 Feeny, 2 P2, 2
Palisand. There we go. Here's the spice. There's the Palisand.
Yeah, 2 Palisand, Metagross, 2 Clef, Cinderace, Amoonguss, 2 Excelgor, and then rounding it out, we have a bunch of one-ups here with
Whimsicott, Weezing, Umbreon, a Togekiss, Togedemaru, another Tapu Bulu. I wonder who played that. Spectrier, Snorlax, Rotom Heat, Rillaboom, Registeel, my boy Regigigas, Primarina, Porygon Z.
Love it.
I know who played that one too. Nidoqueen, Galarian Moltres, Mimikyu, Milotic, Kartana, Indeedee Female, Incineroar.
One Incin?
One Incin.
That is criminal.
We almost made it to 0 Incin. A Hatterene, a Grimmsnarl, a Garchomp. After being played so much, it went down to 1.
Yeah. I mean,
wow.
Where was rounding this out? We have 1 Conch, 1 Comfey, Charizard, and a Araquanid rounding it out as well. Where was Rillaboom on this? Was it still up towards the top?
Nope. Scroll back down.
Was there a Rillaboom?
There was. Is a 1.
1 Rillaboom. So
the mighty have fallen.
So we had, going back to the other sheet for half a second.
Yep, you're on it. There you go.
We had 7 Rillaboom, P2, Incin. And then here we have
1 Rillaboom,
1 Incin, and 2 P2.
Which, if we had more players, that might be a little bit more padded.
True.
But just seeing that, it's just like, what happened?
I happened.
What actually happened?
I happened.
If Rillaboom had gotten played more, you would not have ever had a chance of actually winning anything.
I mean, okay, so pull this up for me.
So
this is something I started working on Monday.
Something like that.
Monday morning, it was Tuesday morning because I was waiting on my truck at work.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just like, I have an hour to kill.
Let's build a team.
So the original idea was I saw someone end up playing Excelgor Palisand. It's like, man, that's a meme I haven't seen in forever. I want to do that again.
Oh god.
Because I never actually played it when it was first introduced. I'm just like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Water Shuriken was plus priority until during the Rumble.
What?
So I sent a couple replays to Poppy. He's like, dude, I want to play this team.
Oh, goodness.
So I sent him the paste, and him and I ended up playing this team together. Combined, I think we won 3 games. 2 of which were the mirror. So
that tells you how well it did, everyone. That tells you how well it did.
To be fair, I missed
a bunch of damn rolls.
So many.
I watched Karibo's match against you, and there were so many rolls you missed.
Had a Grimmsnarl live on 1 against Karibo.
Yep.
Had a Rotom Heat live, I think it was Heat.
It was Heat.
In my matchup against Padillac. I had Poppy's Glastrier lived on 4 while Dynamaxed. It's like, I literally could not have been any more unlucky
just
in this tournament.
Unlucky. Just could not catch a break there.
So, we have the Excelgor Palisand meme.
Yeah.
I think I brought this and used it approximately once. I think I led it once, and I didn't even end up maxing Palisand in that game.
Really?
They led Torkoal Venusaur. It's like, I can't afford to be put to sleep. I need to deal with this Venusaur first.
Yeah.
So, they correctly identify and target down my Palisand. I just protect, and I struggle bug them. If they do end up maxing, then I'm just cutting down their max power. Which then also incidentally helps against Torkoal, which is going for eruptions. It's like, so I'm lowering your base power of your eruptions, also lowering your special attack. I had a game against Austin, I believe, where he led Primarina plus Togedemaru.
Okay.
I led Tornadus plus Amoonguss. The play I saw was fake out my Amoonguss and Hailstorm my Amoonguss to pick up the KO on it. So my counterplay was to click Tailwind plus Max Amoonguss. No, hold on. I'm Choice Scarf Amoonguss here, right? So I max before their Primarina does.
Okay.
But then my Choice Scarf falls off, so then they outspeed me and attacks.
Yeah.
This works out in my advantage. Because he fakes out into my Tornadus, plus Hailstorms my Tornadus. Because I'm a bulky Tornadus, I live it.
Yeah.
I then trigger his policy with Max Ooze. Give myself the +1. The next turn, Tailwind plus Max Overgrowth to KO the Primarina. So, it actually worked out for my advantage.
It's just not the way you thought it would.
So, I brought Turbo Shroom, and I think I clicked Spore once this entire turn.
Goodness.
The real
Offensive
backbone...
Amoonguss, let's go.
Dude, it was really good. Honestly, Max Amoonguss won me that game. The real thing that would have won me games had I been luckier was Glastrier and Urshifu.
Yeah.
The number of times where my opponent's just like, alright, here's a Will-O-Wisp, here's a Sleep Powder in my Glastrier, I'm just like, that's cute, now you're dead.
Bang!
Nice Venusaur, Hailstorm you. I'm just like, oh, well that's really inconvenient.
I remember you mentioning it after the Rumble, but the Glastrier currently, this one is 0 speed IV's Brave.
Yep. And because I don't actually have a Trick Room setter, I think what I should have done was 31 IV's Adamant.
Yeah.
That means in Tailwind I get to 140, which is, not
It's
fast.
not insane, but it's faster than
Like
a chunk of the meta.
Yeah. And like if they do go for Trick Room or whatever, then I can still just be like, alright, well I'm not gonna set Tailwind, and my Glastrier is still fine under Trick Room.
Is there a way to invest in Glastrier to make it outspeed base 100s in Tailwind? Get to 168?
Probably if I cut down on a lot of HP. It would take a lot. I would need to get to 84. Let me do some calcs.
What if you just go like max attack Jolly with a couple of special defense investment that you have and reduce some of the HP investment?
So to get to 84,
you need to get 34 points.
Yeah, I would have to be Jolly.
Like Jolly, like max speed Jolly puts you probably at what?
Max speed Jolly puts me to...
Isn't it like 70?
90.
90? So then...
So to get to 84, it's 212 plus.
So you lose a lot of HP.
Oh, a ton of HP.
But you get to outspeed base 100s in Tailwind. Which no one's expecting to...
Oh, no one's expecting Fast Horse.
Like,
especially when you look at this team on paper.
Like, Fast Horse is not something you're expecting.
Now I want to play Fast Horse.
So, when I was watching Karibo's match, I really thought you were just like choice banned Urshifu for the longest time because all you did was keep clicking Poison Jab.
I wanted to bluff it. That's exactly why. Because my damage output is higher because I am Black Glasses. And originally I was banned, and that's why you see this standard Urshifu set of Sucker Punch, Wicked Blow, Close Combat. But in that last set I do have Poison Jab.
Yeah.
So... There was a game against Padillac where he maxed Bulu. I brought it. He picked up a KO. I bring in Urshifu, and I max it and I Poison Jab him. To then give my Amoonguss the +1 to be able to pick up the KO on his Rotom before he gets to pick up the KO. I missed it and he lives on 1. So then it goes down to Hail or Sand or what? No, it was Sand. I was like, well, this is really inconvenient because now I also lost my Amoonguss.
Ugh.
It was very saddening. And he said afterwards, he's just like, as soon as I saw the Max Urshifu, I knew there was a Poison Jab coming my way, and I was scared. But, man, his Bulu took it like a champ.
Oh, I bet. Bulu's still fairly bulky, isn't it?
I believe it's technically bulkier than Rillaboom. Let me pull those numbers up. So Rillaboom is 100 HP, 90 defense, 70 special defense versus Bulu. Not Bula. Bulu. 70 HP, 115 defense, 95 special defense. So you lose a lot of HP, but you gain a bunch in both of your defenses.
So it's kind of just like a weird trait. It's like we don't know exactly how bulky you are compared to a Rillaboom. But
yeah, but you also have a base 130 attack, so
yeah.
The downside is you're slower.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Rillaboom,
actually, I didn't realize Rillaboom had a 125 attack. So it really isn't that much more.
It's like,
and you lose
that's another reason why you see Rillaboom over Tapu Bulu, right? It's
and
just like,
you lose Fake Out, you lose Grassy Glide, you get Horn Leech, which is actually hella good.
You don't get Play Rough. Come on, Pokemon. What are you doing here?
Please. Just one time. Throw him a bone.
Speaking of Rillaboom, we found the one Rillaboom in the Rumble.
Okay.
It's on the second place team.
With the one Eliki.
No, there's more Eliki, wasn't there?
No, there was one.
That was the,
Was there? Okay, pull it back up for me. Am I wrong?
I think it was I'm pretty sure it was the LRQ because there was at least 3.
Oh, you already closed it. Come on, Carl. I'm still talking about data, man.
I was moving us on to the next one.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't done. How am I supposed to reference it if you don't have it pulled up?
Let's see here. This is...
How we do it?
This is not that one. But this will tell us, because this is the one with one Regieleki.
Yeah, but how many are on the one that I actually care about?
There was like 3 or 4. There's multiple in that one.
Were there?
Pretty sure.
Because I don't remember seeing any Eliki whatsoever.
You also lost round 1.
Look, I don't want to talk about it. I lost round 1 on a fluke. I should have Dynamaxed my Pallet Sand. Because he led Urshifu plus Milotic, and the play I anticipated was like Sucker Punch my Palisand plus Max Geyser it, and just like Oko it while I waste my Max.
Yeah.
So the play I did was I doubled out and switched out, and he's just like, all right, here's Coil Milotic. I'm just like, oh no, we're dead.
Yeah, 3 Regieleki in the Rumble.
Yeah, see, that's what I said. You're like, no, there's only one.
No. You're not getting away with it.
I'm pretty sure the listeners know what I'm talking about, Carl, when I say that you said it.
Yeah, no, they're gonna call you out. So, we found the one Rillaboom. This is Dreadmambo's VGC's first event with us.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like this, like, pseudo Spectrier, like, Urshifu team.
Yeah, we have some
mode.
We have some wet noodles going on down here with wet Urshifu.
So it's like it's double horse, but not the way you normally see double horse. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like usually there's like sometimes there's a P2 on these things that kind of gets a trick room for this thing.
Usually P2. There's usually sometimes like a Grimmsnarl, and this time like instead of Grimmsnarl we have Clefairy, which kind of does similar things, especially since you can have Nasty Plot on Spectre, right? That is available, or is it?
Yes.
Was it a Calyrex move?
It's Nasty
Oh,
Plot.
it is literally okay. You know, if I have reading's hard, man. Okay, like I don't need this kind of harassment on the daily.
Yeah. So the horses here are both super offensive with their respective +2 moves: Swords Dance and Nasty Plot.
Which, when you're pairing them next to Clef, like who cares?
It makes sense. Like that's you get to take the advantage of I have Follow Me redirection. You can't hit Spectre unless you take out this Clefairy.
And in the event you like do spread damage, my Spectre is going to be able to live it anyway because it now has so much extra bulk.
Exactly. Pairing with all this stuff, we have Rillaboom, Regieleki, and Wetfu, as it's nicknamed here. I like that. I'm going to call it Wetfu from now on.
The whole wet noodles things I stole from, I think it was Roller Coaster or Tiki. It was one of the ATX guys. He was talking about slapping wet noodles.
Yeah.
So I said I was going to steal that and use that from now on to refer to Surging Strikes.
Yep.
Which, fun fact, Choice Band Surging Strikes does a ton of damage.
It does do a ton of damage, yeah.
I was playing it next to Torkoal. Like, the number of KOs I could pick up in the sun was absolutely ridiculous.
This is a standard Rillaboom, Assault Vest, Grassy Glide, Fake Out, Knockoff U-Turn, Magnet Regieleki, and Focus Sash Wetfu.
Yep, which you could tell me this is Sash Eleki and Band or Mystic Water Urshifu, and sure.
That's something you don't see very often.
Dude, honestly,
like,
it's just
Mystic
like,
Water Urshifu.
Here's Scarf, here's Band, here's Focus Sash.
And that's all you ever see on it, really.
I want to try Mystic Water.
Well, now you can.
No, I'm good.
I'm actually interested in it. I wonder to see how much damage it does.
It probably does a sizable chunk, right?
Yeah, like we'll have to do some calcs off camera here and like check it out.
Yeah, off camera, definitely not as we're speaking.
But I want to move on to the winner.
Yeah, do your thing.
Yan finally got one.
Hell yeah.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Finally got his win. Unfortunately, it was for a Rumble and not an LRQ, so he just didn't automatically qualify. But he has solidified his points lead
by a sizable
chunk. So he is going to be our point leader for probably quite a while.
Unless someone comes in and snipes like two of them in a row.
Like, unless he magically wins and then he gets taken off the point leader list. Wins an LRQ and just gets taken off.
Do we want to be jolly or adamant?
Jolly.
Cool.
So, Yan's team is a Trick Room Sun style thing. Just no Venusaur. He played Snorlax instead.
Love it.
We got Mimulax here. We have Indeedee Hatterene, and we have Torkoal and Glastrier just kind of like take over here. This is probably the hardest Trick Room team you're going to see in a very long time. Outside of like Lipard Copycat or Riolu Copycat shenanigans. What do we knock out?
We can two-shot, which I'm pretty sure this is standard, but you can two-shot Zamazenta.
With what?
CC. It's actually a roll to one shot.
Oh. Okay, I didn't know that.
I actually didn't either.
But this team is it's just hard Trick Room. It's super standard. Hard. Like for those that may not know, Hatterene and DD is like one of the best ways to set Trick Room. Period.
I don't think this is quite accurate. I think this might only be calculating for one hit of Surging Strikes. Because it says we only do 59% to regular Moltres.
Yeah, it's one hit.
So yeah, you one-shot Moltres.
So yeah, G-Max Snorlax is something I'm a very big fan of. I want to use it more. After playing with it in the first showdown, I missed Snorlax a lot.
Dude, after playing it this week, Snorlax is super underrated in this current format.
Oh yeah. Okay, well that is all of our data. Let's take a look at some other data. Getting ready for Players Cup 4, we're going to take a look real quick at some Architects data and kind of look at that really quick. So, speaking of Urshifu's tied with Incineroar for most played Pokemon as like...
Dude, that's insane to me.
In Series 9, which I'm kind of not surprised by, actually. Like, Single Strike Urshifu's just been really good. It hits a lot of things, and like it beats up Metagross, it beats up Glastrier. Like fairy types aren't super duper popular right now, just because there's a ton of steel types floating around, and Regieleki kind of dissuades Tapu Fini from being a thing, along with Rillaboom. Moving through the rest of these top 10 here, just kind of look at this. Regieleki comes in at 3rd, Landorus comes in at 4th, Rillaboom comes in at 5th, Tapu Fini at 6th, Grimmsnarl at 7th, Porygon at 8th, Glastrier at 9th, and Celesteela is the first Pokemon outside of 20% usage in 10th. That tells me that we have a very wide margin of Pokemon being played, rather than these top 3 are 50%, 60% popular, and the rest of them are kind of just like in the teens, instead of, unlike this one where it's like 32, 32, 29, 29, 26, 26, 26, 22, 20, and 18. Trying to look for Garchomp. Garchomp's in 14th. Most played at 12%. Dragapult's at 15th, right behind it. Venusaur and Torkoal are here at 11 and 12. There's a Mungus. Top 20.
10%, man.
10%. Thundurus is making a comeback. Thundurus has kind of fallen off the face of the format and is starting to kind of trend upwards again at a 10% usage there. There's Togekiss at 8%. Starting to trend upward again, too.
So, quick maths.
Uh-huh.
I'm actually curious if we Dynamax this Landorus. This is max HP Landorus. Max HP 184 defense. Mystic Water Surging Strikes us 56 to 68%.
It's not bad. Is that after Intimidate?
It's Surging Strikes.
Oh.
So yes, technically.
Yes. Looking through the rest of this, there's a Tapu Lele in 32, number 32. Porygon Z's at 4%. That's something that's trending upwards. Rain's starting to kind of push back a little bit after falling down into the low 60s, 70s in usage. Like it's up in the top 50 used again.
When I was looking at doing stuff with like underplayed Mons, one of the bars I set was it has to be played less than 5%. Just objective number that I threw out there. And Polito Kingdra were both there. I'm just like, well, I guess I'm playing Rain.
I can play Rain, it's fine.
It was like Rain plus Stack Attacka, which is still available too.
Yep.
Looking at 4% on Stack Attacka. Dude, you want to talk about a Mon that I think is really still underplayed? Like, you have Stack Attacka, you have Entei. Like, there's just so many Mons here that are just like, man, why are people not playing these?
I feel justified keeping that Cresselia now.
It has doubled its usage in the last... Is this day or month?
This is daily.
Okay.
This is how you get up to date all the time, because monthly only updates
once a month.
Yeah. Whereas daily updates off of Babiri.net almost constantly. So you get
Regidrago.
So you get cool trends like this, where you can see Zapdos is up 60% usage from what it was.
Dude, there is a bunch of T-Tars running around. What is Tyranitar's actual usage stat at now?
Tyranitar is at 5% at number 33 on the
Interesting
scale, which it's tied with a bunch of other Pokemon.
Yeah, there's a Lele. And actually, not that many
fives.
actually, looking at this,
it's sevens.
Yeah, there's a bunch of sevens, bunch of eights.
Charizard? What? I haven't seen Charizard since like Series 8. So yeah, that's kind of just like rundown of what's popular right now. If you go and check out Architects, it'd be a useful tool getting your Players Cup 4 set up, all planned out. You get to access things on Babiri.net, which Pikalytics and Showdown and all that stuff also access, but like the way they have Architects set up is like you can actually just like click on the team. It's like, oh, and I can go click on a team and watch a replay, or I can go straight to Babiri.net and do the search there. This feels very skewed.
Hey, did you know there's a bunch of physical mons in this format that intimidate, like Landorus and Incineroar are really good against?
Like, this feels super skewed. You think with Intimidate being so popular, physical attacks would be
You would think so, but when you have things like Metagross and Thundurus and Urshifus that don't care, like, who cares?
So yeah, definitely go check out Architects. Here's their...
Cannot recommend their stuff again. Like, yeah,
it's great. I was like, we're going to recommend it again. They have a great tool here, and definitely check it out.
Yeah, their stuff is absolutely fantastic.
And if you're into Smogon OU, they also cover stuff for that, too.
Not my personal cup of tea, but to those who do, it's there.
The current thing on OU is just like everyone's excited for Diamond Pearl remakes, like OU. Which I'm like, why are you so excited about this when you know nothing about what it's actually going to be? Like, calm your jets. Relax.
It will be fine.
Okay, so what else do we have? Oh, we have our second showdown.
Yeah, let's not talk about it.
Yeah, let's not talk about it. Why not?
I don't want to talk about it, Carl. I don't do this kind of abuse.
Why not? Why don't you want to talk about it? I played a really cool team. I could have made you play Spiel.
I also played a really cool team, and I think had you played Spiel, I wouldn't be playing it still. I think your beat up matchup with the Spiel team is really bad.
Probably. Instead, I picked Zorder's team and double sucker punched.
It's like, alright, cool, thanks for the justified boost.
Yeah, so the idea was, like, just in case Dragapult is Sash, I just double sucker punch because I don't know the item. If it's Sash, I'm going to lose.
Yep. Had you not double priority into my Dragapult, then I just go to +4 if I'm Sash, and you're just like, okay, now I'm sad.
Yeah, now I'm good. Now I'm probably like, I lose Cinderace there, which I lost Cinderace anyway. But then it's +4 Arcanine versus my team instead of a +1 Arcanine, which I'd rather deal with +1 than +4.
I also think I think not Dynamaxing there could have also been correct and go for like Will-O-Wisp plus E-Speed into like Will-O-Wisp your Bisharp, E-Speed your Cinderace, just because like in the event you don't max, like this is obviously looking with hindsight here.
Yeah.
E-Speed is probably going to do a sizable chunk since you don't max it. Even if you do, it's still, going to do a non-zero.
Yeah, it's going to do a chunk for sure.
But I think it's definitely correct for you to say, okay, I need to remove this Dragapult before it does its thing, and that's the scary thing. Because, like, had I just clicked Will-O-Wisp on turn 1, you wasted your entire first turn.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, then what do? Do you just...
Exactly.
Do you double down and sucker punch again?
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, cool. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna burn your Cinderace too. Like,
yeah. Actually, no. You'd never get to burn the Cinderace that way.
Why not?
Because Libero never triggers.
Yes, it does.
Nope. It has to connect for Libero to trigger.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
It does. It will not change.
I don't believe this for a second.
Because Sucker Punch fails, it won't change your type.
I need to look this up.
Because the way Libero works is the move has to go through. If the move doesn't go through and it fails, then Libero doesn't activate.
I don't think that's right.
Go watch laddering videos. Go watch every Cinderace game you can find. The move fails, so it doesn't do anything. So your type doesn't change.
Immediately before using any type, any move, a Pokemon with Libero as its ability will change its type to be the same type as the move it is using. Libero also causes the user to become a single-type Pokemon. Because Libero activates prior to executing a move, the user will receive same-type attack bonus on every move, regardless of the move's type, and will always hit the move Toxic. I actually didn't know that, but that makes sense.
That's cool. But yeah, that's the way Libero works on the game. Is the move actually has to follow through. You actually have to use the move. If it fails, Libero doesn't activate.
I don't know if that's right.
That's 100% right.
I need to test this. Because the way I'm reading this sounds like it always happens.
It does not.
When using a move that calls another move, such as Nature Power, the type of the called move will be considered. So that means if...
Run me by that again, Captain?
So, if you have grassy terrain and use Nature Power, Cinderace becomes a grass type?
Is that what that says?
That's the way I'm reading that.
Okay, cool, because that's what I was thinking too, is like, means you become a grass type, which makes sense. Because Nature Power would be grass. So Weather Ball...
Does Cinderace get Weather Ball?
I don't know.
Can you turn Cinderace into an ice type?
Now I have to look. I gotta open Showdown back up. Thanks, Carter.
Look, man, you're the one who started this. I'm not the criminal here.
I just want to see if it gets Weather Ball, because that's cool.
We're going to do special Cinderace tonight, boys.
Off
our base 65 special attack.
Let's go! Dang it!
Okay, do we get natural gift or... No natural gift, no Nature Power. When using Curse, the user is not already Ghost type prior to the activation of Libero. Libero will change the user to Ghost type. Then the user will use the Ghost type effect of Curse on itself.
Oh my goodness. What is going on here? What is going on here?
Pokemon is broken, man. That one actually makes no sense. What?
Open this up. Open up a section.
Libero will not activate if the move fails. Cool, you're right.
I was right. I was about to prove it for you on Showdown because I was about to go pair up with the laddering account that I have on here, and I'm like, I know for a fact if the move doesn't complete, Libero doesn't activate.
If the execution is interrupted entirely, such as by the effect of infatuation or confusion, if the move is prevented by heavy rain or extremely harsh sunlight as well. Interesting. So if you go for a water type move with Libero and harsh sunlight, it doesn't change you to a water type.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, like the move has to complete.
Libero will activate even if the move misses,
Yep.
is blocked by a protection move,
Yep.
or fails to affect the opponent.
Yep. But
so that tells me it should.
So if the move, like the move fails because of other things aside from, like, say, Crafty Shield or any of the things that prevent status and whatnot. Like, if you are already a dark type and try to use like something like Prankster, if you somehow managed some weird effects where you just get like priority moves or Prankster moves or something against like Prankster, kind of that situation, you'll still change. You won't change types because the move fails that way. Kind of like how Sucker Punch works. But if you go in and say Dragon Claw a Tapu Fini, you still become a dragon type, but your attack won't do anything because it does not affect them.
But
it didn't fail. It went through,
but it doesn't.
It doesn't deal damage, so it doesn't. So it won't do anything else. But the attack goes through.
Okay, so let's say you electrify a normal type Tapu. Okay, let's say you protect.
Okay.
The following turn, you get.
So you are currently a normal type.
So let's say then, or let's say you double edge. This one is easier. You double edge.
You're currently a normal type.
And then get turned into a ghost type thanks to Trick or Treat.
So you'd become a normal ghost type.
And then you use Protect. The Protect would go through, so you go back to mono normal?
Yes. The Burrow will take away all your extra typing and make you a mono type Pokemon. Yes. Yep.
This is weird, man.
The Burrow is a weird ability. Anyway, after that random about the Barrow, the rest of the team is really
it's
cool.
relevant because there's double edge on the Cinderace and there's Protect, so you can be normal.
Yeah. Does Trick or Treat a ghost type move?
I think so. I don't know.
Does
Could it even affect it? I don't know, man.
So you'd have to be
so
be
you
either
can
fire
sucker
or fire.
punch and then get, but you can't sucker punch the Trick or Treat user. Because it fails.
This is becoming a mess.
Look, man, you started it.
Anywho, so the idea here is buy sharp Cinderace things. That's the standard lead. Card is broken. Ignore him. Alongside that, we have regular Zapdos with static Citrus Berry Zapdos is kind of cool. I like this a lot.
It threw me off. I was expecting Goggles or Assault Vest or not Citrus Berry.
Yeah, so the Citrus Berry Zapdos it's unique because it's just like we get a free roost almost.
Yeah, you get free bulk basically.
Yeah,
it's like there's a handful of things that can one shot a Zapdos, but especially if you Dynamax, that number goes down significantly. So getting one shot by something isn't most likely going to happen. So being able to get that free static recovery or that free citrus recovery is really beneficial for Zapdos.
Yep. The other kind of cool lead here is the Tapu Fini Dragapult. Like this is it's kind of a non-bow because Dragapult has Dragon Darts and Tapu Fini has Misty Surge, but like you're a Lumberry Dragapult, you don't want to be burnt, you don't want to be statused on Dragapult. So pairing it with the Tapu Fini means a lot of the times you're just clicking Phantom Force or Fly or Max Phantasm, Max Airstream anyway, unless your target is a Dragon type where you absolutely have to have it.
There have definitely been times where, I think it was I don't think it was Garchomp. There was some dragon I had that normally doesn't run dragon moves, but I was running Wormwind on it. No, it was Dragapult. Dracozolt.
Dracozolt, yeah.
Which, yeah, sure, you could run it, but most of the time you probably don't need the dragon coverage.
Yeah.
But there was definitely times where I'm just like, I care about the attack drop way more than actually dealing damage here. So, like, that is, like, sure, pairing it next to Fini means you're going to be doing less damage, but you're also potentially going to be taking less damage.
It is important.
Yeah, it definitely can and will be relevant, I'm sure.
So, the spice of this team, and the reason I picked it originally, is it's playing Conkeldurr.
I need to pull up this Zordor message, because we talked about this Conk once before, and we spent like a 5-minute rant trying to figure out the speed stat.
And we actually got our question answered. That is actually cool. If I remember correctly, it was because it was like min speed with a little bit of investment to...
There's something really weird like that. So Zordor says, watching y'all try to guess Conk speed was hilarious. It's one speed slower than 0 IV, negative nature, 60s, such as P2, Primarina, Ensign.
Ensign, Magnezone is another one in that range. So it was 57, right?
That sounds correct.
Because they are 58 when they're at minus nature.
The reason it's only one slower is so that I don't run into weird stuff like 53 or 54 speed Glastrier, which is 31 minus.
Yeah.
Or 31 neutral, right? I think it's you to 55.
Yes, that's right.
And you get these weird, am I faster or am I slower 50-50s. Also at +1, you outspeed most investment you would put on Ensign or Grimmsnarl. At +2, it's 114, which is around where some Fini like to be. Most Rillaboom will underspeed that. All Modest and Adamant full speed investment base 60s will also underspeed because max speed Modest Lapras will hit 112 and max speed Adamant T-Tar hits 113.
So yeah, that's the story behind Conkeldurr Speed from, I think it was like 2 episodes ago? Something like that?
No, God, it's been longer than that. It's been like a month, I think, since we talked about that team.
What was the date on that one?
The 24th. So yeah, just under a month, like 3 weeks now.
It'd be 3 weeks ago, yeah. So, but yeah, this team is really sweet. Being able to play with, like, Cinderace Biosharp was kind of cool, because that's something I'm not comfortable with doing. I am very not the hyper-offensive, get them every time kind of player, so it was kind of fun stepping outside of my comfort zone.
Just like punching things.
Yeah, I just get to punch things. I never really get to do that.
How does it feel to click the super effective move, Carl?
It's nice. It's actually kind of nice. You get to deal damage, like, at a significant rate. Which, if you haven't watched that showdown, definitely go check that out. iCard might be up right now, above me somewhere. Definitely click on that. Go check that out. Super positive first episode. It was great. Had a bunch of people.
Ton of fun.
This episode's going to definitely be shorter than the last one.
Well, when you're not playing, Snorlax, Mandibuzz, Celesteela, of course it's going to be faster, Carl. When you click the super effective games go faster.
But I like playing Pokemon card. I want to play Pokemon for longer periods of time.
But you can play more games, Carl.
But I want to enjoy the one. By the way, I have my 2 win streak. I don't care if I win another one for the rest of the year.
You can say, not only did you have the first win, but you went on a winning streak immediately after. Doesn't matter how long the streak was, you have a winning streak.
Exactly.
Because 1 is not a streak.
Nope, 2 is. Okay. What else do we got to talk about today?
I don't know, man. I need to go figure out how Libero works. Everything I know is a lie.
Is there anything else? I know I mentioned the event for the open team sheet. That's going to be on Thursday, the 17th. We haven't figured out a time yet for that. And I know I mentioned it in the Discord, the Rumble got moved. The LRQ got moved to the 27th. I know I mentioned
from
that.
The 18th.
19th.
Yeah, 19th, because
18th
is the release date for Chilling Reign, which is awesome because we're getting 2 boxes, and I haven't decided if I'm going to open mine on stream or what we're doing with it yet.
That'd be cool.
I might.
And then the 19th is the start of Players Cup 4.
Yes.
And that's why, unintentionally, that's why I did not move it because of that.
I wonder how the TCG works when their Players Cup is. Because with the set releasing on the 18th, if theirs is the same weekend on the 19th, is it legal? Because it's technically legal that weekend, and it would be legal for registration, but you can't test it. So, you don't know what's good. So, I don't know. Does anyone qualify for the TCG that we know?
Not off the top of my head, no.
I actually don't know if anyone in the Discord actually played for the TCG. I know Penguin was going to. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but I don't think that was PC4. I think that was 2. So yeah, if you're qualified for the TCG,
let us know
anything about that, please let me know, because I'm really curious, because I just like opening stuff.
I'm just clicking through the Discord right now, getting caught up.
I definitely haven't been on Discord while we were recording.
I definitely haven't been while we're recording.
You can't prove that.
Evan asked us about...
Yeah, I did see that. I know you and I have kind of talked about a couple different things related to that.
When we made that, when we talked about that, did we know what Series 9 was going to be yet?
I actually don't think so.
Because I was under the assumption that Series 9 was going to be something different.
Because we were still in the middle of... let's see, our draft league for the Legends started right before 8 did.
Yeah, we had announced it right before 8 was announced.
Yep. And then
so we were the pioneers of this draft league format,
And Pokemon clearly saw that and went, yeah, that sounds like a good
That sounds like a good format, yeah. It sounds like a balanced format, and it was a fun format.
It really was.
That was the most fun I've had in draft league for a while.
My one complaint is I think you and I both picked Yveltal way too high, especially after like the way it played out in Series 8. Like, it was kind of, like, looking back, it was kind of underwhelming.
I had the opposite thing. I was very happy I got Yveltal early, because Yveltal was actually, like, critical for a lot of my games.
I would have to pull up my stats to actually look at it again.
Yveltal was, like, super important for my team. And having that strong first pick was actually really good. For those that may not understand what we're talking about, Evan asked about Series 9 draft leagues. And we're not sure if we're going to do Series 9 Draft League because it's just a Series 7 Draft League. And that's kind of boring, honestly.
Yeah.
Especially since Series 9's almost over in July. And if Series 10 is something cool, then we might do a Series 10 Draft League because they started this LML multi-battle league.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of put a kink in our plans for Draft League. But that's why we had the...
where is my data? Did I delete my Draft League data?
Uh-oh.
I have my like, stats sheet, but it's just the blank one.
That's not good.
Man, that makes me mad. That makes me mad. I don't have it.
I'm sorry.
Oh, well, whatever.
But,
it's fine.
Yeah, once we figure out what Season 4 is, we will definitely let everyone know. Because I'm excited to have a reason to play Pokemon again.
I mean, we had kind of talked about doing the No Legends thing.
Oh, yeah, the fair and square.
Yeah, which, honestly, I think sounds really cool.
I'd be worried that pool with the depth of Pokemon to pick from would be limited.
Yeah, that's my big concern. It's just like, well, you cut out Landorus, but like things like Gyarados get better, Arcanine gets better because Intimidate is more popular now. But like you can have lower tier Intimidate users now, whereas like Incineroar instantly is still top draft pick. You know, just like easy can be.
Unless you're my group and don't pick it at all.
Whereas like as soon as I got it, I think I picked it in the second. I'm just like, this is a steal. How did it fall?
Incineroar was on my list of things to pick up because I could still make that level of a pick at the very end. I ended up picking Regigigas instead and had a blast with that.
Yeah, but it wasn't shiny, so like, did it even...
It is now!
Did it even count, Carl?
It is now! So, definitely we'll talk about Series 9, or maybe a Series 9 Draft League, maybe a Fair and Square Draft League.
See, I also have the PGL draft starts the 15th.
I thought it was the 12th.
I'm pretty sure it's the 15th. I just looked the other day.
Isn't the draft the 12th? And then matches?
No, I'm pretty sure the draft is the 15th. I'm looking. Let's see. We want...
they changed it.
Schedule. Draft starts... Yeah, the 12th.
Yeah, what I've been saying the entire time.
I could have swore it said 15th.
Well, they recently changed the start time. That was today.
Next week I might be in that. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're part of that, good luck on that. I hope you all get picked from our community. But yeah, anything else? Hannah had a team. Hannah, Chase, and I don't know the other person. The other person.
Yeah, the third I do not actually.
The third is it's ATX. Someone in ATX, I believe.
Yeah, I didn't recognize the name. Yeah, someone hit number 1 on the ladder with it and sent it in to Aaron and got it played on Road to Rank. So that's
cool.
2 people I know now that had a team on it.
So that's cool. It's nice that like seeing our community members actually get like recognized for the work they put in. It's nice. We had no help in any of that process.
No, not at all.
It's nice to see.
I don't want to take credit for it at all.
No, we're not taking credit for it. It's just nice to
cool
see that, like, us as a small community is like, oh, it's like, we know who
I know that person.
Because a lot of the times it's like, I don't know who this is. Like,
it's the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where it's just pointing at the TV.
Yeah! Are we done? Is that it?
I don't know, man.
I think we're done.
My brain has been dead for the last, like, half hour. So, I don't know.
I think we're done. Let's get out of here.
So let's see. If you're listening on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. If you're not listening on YouTube, go and do all that stuff. Pause the podcast right now. Go do all that. Now that you're back, follow us on Twitter.
Yeah.
At LR Lessons, myself at Mr. Missouri25, Carlos at Musical VGC. You can find us on Twitch as well. I'm at Mr. Missouri25 there as well. Carlos at Musical, right? You didn't change that one.
I haven't changed that one, no.
Cool. We have our community Discord. I think we're just over 350, 360
360 members at the moment.
So come join that.
Aiming for 500. 500 is the goal by the end of the year. We would like to get that goal.
Dude, I think that's actually going to be super obtainable, to be 100% honest with you.
We hit our other YouTube and Twitter goals that I had set for June already, so I got to come up with new goals for December.
Yeah, just keep pushing it. Eventually it'll skyrocket, right?
Yeah, eventually we'll get there. I was thinking of easier goals, obtainable goals, because everyone's
255. We'll get there.
We're almost there right now. I was thinking 350 or 400. Everyone's like 501, 600. I'm like, oh my god, that's
Please
so many
calm
people.
down.
We're not growing that fast. We get 20 a month, so 350 is definitely obtainable for sure.
And then let's see, Discord, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. That sounds like everything.
That's everything.
Support us on Anchor if you're listening there. That's always down below.
Yep, thanks Dashiell for supporting us.
For sure. And shout outs to everyone else who have given away entries to the Rumbles and everything else. The qualifiers and...
Community's great. Keep being great people.
Our events are as large as they are because of the community we have. So, I think that's it.
That's everything I think of.
All right, everyone. Have a fantastic week. We'll be back later in the week with all kinds of content. We'll see you then. So, have a good one. Peace.